I want you to cry into your Hello Kitty pillow. I want you to put your headphones on. I want you to listen to some Taylor Swift. And I want you to shake it off, you bland bitch.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the Sexy Ninja, in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe. Oh, yeah. We're talking about SmackDown, May 1st, 2026, Tulsa, Oklahoma, at the Box Center, baby. We are 20 days away from The Mandalorian and Grogu. Oh, yeah, I know that's not wrestling, but man, I'm excited. I got my Grogu cookies. Thanks to my big homie Doug, I'm going to go get the bounty meal and the kids meal and the collectibles at Burger King today. Because why? It's free comic book day. Woo, it's good to be alive. And a lot of stuff going on, man. And I got to sit down and watch SmackDown. I'm telling you, this was an entertaining show, but gosh, 3 hours. I heard that they're going back to that 2-hour mark here in the summer, and I'm like, thank goodness, thank the wrestling gods, and thank the Star Wars gods, because we got a new Star Wars movie on the way. And speaking of thankful, I got my champion, Cody, starting this show. And he's telling us, like, he is medically cleared. He is ready to fight. He is ready to pounce. But who's next for Cody? And who's willing to step up to fight the champ? Well, here comes Ricky Saints. These two have history. These two are friends. And Cody and Ricky. And I wish he got a pop. He got booed. So, he might as well just lean into more of that, being that heel. But he's Ricky. I love Ricky Saints. And he gets in Cody's face. And Cody's like, you know what? What's the difference from the last time we faced each other? Because I beat you then. I'll beat you now. And guess what? Me and you tonight in Tulsa. Crowd pops and everything like that. And Ricky's like, you know what? I'm here to show that I am the new face. And Cody just tells him, and I love this tagline, because easy to find, hard to beat. Love it. And so then we go to Kathy. She's with Charlotte and Alexa. Charlotte's got a match with JC Jane next, and Rhea comes up and says, hey, y'all need help. There's 3 of them. 2 of you, it only makes sense. And Alexa's like, yeah, why not? And Charlotte's not really feeling it. And I love when Charlotte is like, dramatic. Come on, let's go. I'm trying to make a dramatic exit. And Alexa, like, yeah, she's trying to make a dramatic exit. So we have Charlotte versus JC Jane, and this is my match of the night. I really enjoyed this. I'm very happy JC and Fatal Influence are here. I love JC Jane. It's good to see her in the main roster, and it's good to see Fatal Influence. And of course, JC cuts a promo before. She's fun on that mic, man. And she's like, she talks all that trash to Charlotte and gives it a little bit of a woo. And then in the ring, I love it too. She does a little strut like Charlotte. She's like, woo. JC knows how to get under the skin, and she takes on Charlotte here in this awesome match, man. And JC Jane does get the win due to Fatal Influence helping. Alexa tried to beat down, but of course, what does Fatal Influence do after JC gets the win? They beat down Charlotte and Alexa, and you knew it was going to happen. Rhea Ripley runs out, and this sets up Charlotte, Alexa, Rhea versus Fatal Influence next week, which it does. I'm very excited about that. We get Paige and Bree, who's watching with Byron. They have a big tag team match against Lash and Nia. Damian Priest and Truth talking to Fraxium because they got a tag team match with them next for the championships. And Truth calls them Los Americanos. And then Truth talked about taxes. Miz and Kit Danhausen. I don't know why I'm loving this so much. They set up a trap called Free Human Monies for Danhausen. And it's the oldest trick in the book. He opens the case, nothing happens. He takes the monies and he's like, ooh, $400. And then he has 4 bundles of hundreds. And Miz is like, what? That didn't work. And Kid's like, what do you mean? What do you mean it didn't work? Look. And they open him up and Miz is like, I'm cursed. I don't know why, but this was an entertaining bit. And we get into a really fun match here. Priest and Truth versus Fraxium. Fraxium bring it to him. Priest and Truth do get the win. And then here comes Tama Tonga. He attacks him. Solo looking like a boss. And I gotta say, I really like the fact that Solo's really setting himself apart from the Usos. You know, he's still rocking that suit. He's got the gloves and everything like that. He's just this like mob boss mentality. Because when Solo gets the mic, you know, the Usos come out and are like, hey, we want Fatu. You guys don't like Fatu. He's a big problem for both of us, Us. But you need to watch out because Roman, your tribal chief, you know, and I love Solo's like, you know what? You know, look at this. I ain't got time for this. There's a Fatu, you know, that's our business. And he turns around and he just gives a little nod to Tama Tonga and they beat down the Usos, which sets up our main event for at the end of this show. And I just like that. He just didn't do anything. It was a little nod to Tama Tonga, and Tama Tonga took out the Usos, and it was a beatdown. You know, and Solo tells him, Roman is not my tribal chief. Then we go to Cody backstage. He's getting up for his match with Ricky Saints next, and he runs into Sammy, and Sammy's like, are you mad at me for calling you Golden Boy and this and that? And I don't know what's going on with Sammy. It's just, I'm getting kind of tired of him. But Cody's just like, dude, just go away. Cody's like, you know, I'm going to go to the ring. And Cody versus Ricky. This was a fun match. I wish Ricky didn't lose to Cody. You know, he really didn't get a big response in the beginning. He really, you know, it was just one of those things. I was like, oh, you know, you could have because Gunther attacks Cody after he wins. But I was like, you could have just had Gunther attack during the match so Ricky didn't have to suffer a loss to Cody. I was just like, I don't think that's the right move to have Ricky Saints, who just debuted here, goes against the champ and then loses to Cody. And, you know, and it's just like, that's it. It's kind of like wipe the board. Boom, 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 boom. We move on from Ricky Saints. I'm like, no, we should not move on from Ricky Saints. You know, he's like Carmelo Hayes. Like, these guys are so talented. I want to see them thrive, man. And sometimes it's just some choices made here. But Gunther attacks Cody. I'm excited about that, man. Gunther versus Cody. I'm like, oh, give me that. Give me. You know it ain't going to happen at Backlash, but that's okay. I want this to be a nice, slow build. These two can talk on the mic and these two can wrestle, so you know you're going to get money with Cody versus Gunther. Gunther! Build that for the WWE Championship, man. Next up, we have Danhausen. He comes out. He, you know, in his little Danhausen mobile, giving out T-shirts because he bought money with it from what he got from that briefcase. Then Miz comes out and he's like, we should be Mizhausen. And Danhausen's like, yes. And Kit Wilson comes out. He's like, no, before Miz and Danhausen can shake hands. And I love, you know, this is like the magic of show business and pro wrestling. A simple little bit of just putting your hands out. And, you know, and Miz playing to, like, does he shake Kit Wilson's hands? Does he shake Danhausen's hands? Like, you get the oohs, ooh, And I don't know why I found that bit so funny from earlier. I found this very entertaining. I liked it. And, of course, Miz is a bastard, and he double-crosses Danhausen, and they do a beatdown to poor Danhausen. Poor Danhausen. But, you know, because they are cussed for what's coming up at Backlash, which we find out later on tonight. Then we get a little tease of Blake Monroe. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. Because I know Blake's going to be awesome. She's coming to SmackDown, y'all. Angel versus Royce Keys. This is a quick one and fast one. You know, of course, we're building Royce Keys here. He beats Angel. Nothing much said about that. Just got to show how strong he is. And then we get Kathy with Tiffany, our new United States champion. And Chelsea comes up. She's walking again. I'm so excited. About Chelsea being back. I just picked up her action figure with her paying homage and dressed up like Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Bang, bang, man. I just picked up that figure. I didn't have the money for it, but I was like, fuck it. I want this figure. I need a Chelsea figure, you know. I don't see many Chelsea figures here in Flagstaff. So once I saw it, I was like, I need that figure. And she comes with the Women's United States Championship. And Julia and Kiana get there too. And Julia wants her rematch, but Tiffany's like, you know what? There's opportunity, open challenges and everything. And guess what? I will face you. Not you, Julia, but Kiana James will get an opportunity next week. And I was like, oh, all right, Tiffy. And Tiffy's, you know, it's her birthday. Happy birthday, Tiffany Stratton. And Chelsea's like, let's go celebrate. And Tiffy's like, what? Okay, whatever. Royce and Fatu, they go way back, and Royce tells Fatu, like, you remember, I don't know if it's just because you're here, you don't remember the streets, but you need to make sure Roman don't take that food off that plate. And Fatu's like, yeah. And then here comes the MFTs. They attack Royce first, and then Tama Tonga lays out Jacob Fatu. So something's going to happen in that main event. Then we get the gingerbread man. They bring out the suit. And I'm like, okay. Then Sammy comes out. He cuts his promo. And I'm just like, you wonder why we're booing you? It's just this. You're not producing anything that's like, oh, okay. Then Sammy attacks the gingerbread man, beats him down. And then Trick comes out. Zayn runs away. And Trick is like throwing up the X like someone's legitimately hurt. I'm like, what is he doing? He's throwing up the X and he's like the gingerbread man. And I was like, are we really going this deep with the gingerbread man? I hope not, but just wait. Then we get Byron with Lash and Nia because they have their big tag team match next with Paige and Bree for those tag team titles. And then we go Kathy with Trick Williams, and he's in the medical bay. This sets up Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams 2 for the United States Championship at Backlash May 9th, which I'm very excited about. I really want that match. But then Trick is like, yeah. He goes, you putting your hands on the gingerbread man. The gingerbread man talking like this is a real person. And then the Doc comes out, and Trick's like, what's up? And the Doc just does a little gesture like, yeah, we lost him. I was like, what is going on? What is going on? What is going on? So the gingerbread man, Trick is fighting for him, and Little Yachty. We go with the Paige Bree versus Lash and Nia. Really didn't care. Paige and Bree got the win. And then we go right to Joe and Wade, and they like Trick Williams wanted to share this information in memory. R.I.P. the gingerbread man. I was like, what? 2026 and 2026. I'm like, okay. I sometimes you just need some silliness to get through this world, and I found this entertaining. I don't know why. I just found it stupid and entertaining, and sometimes that's all you need. But R.I.P. the gingerbread man. Then it goes right to Sammy. Sammy's like, what the hell's that? Just messing with Sammy some more. And Nick's like, all right, it's official, you two. Then Danhausen walks in. He's like, I want Miz and Kate Wilson. And Nick's like, I'll do you something. And at Backlash, it'll be Danhausen with you got to find a tag team partner versus Miz and Kit Wilson, but you have to find a tag team partner. And like Danhausen, that's a lot of work, So Danhausen is off to the races. He's going to go find a partner, and who could it be? And I was like, oh, that'd be cool. The wife's like, what if it's Punk? And I was like, that would be awesome. Because they are friends. So we shall see who's going to team up with Danhausen at Backlash. Then we go into the Usos versus the MFTs, and it ended just the way I thought it would. Jacob Fatu just causing destruction, taking out the MFTs, just causing chaos, and he grabs that mic afterwards, and he tells the Usos, like, tell Roman, I'm going to dog walk his ass, I'm going to beat him, because I'm coming, I'm all brakes, all gas, no brakes, you got what I mean? Jacob Fatu. And that's the way we end the show. Fun? Yeah. I'm all for Fatu destroying shit. I'm all for it. And then I saw some news. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, the New Day, has departed WWE. 20 years of Kofi Kingston, man. Oh, and so long with the New Day, so many memories. And I gotta say, thank you, Kofi. It was a big deal when he became champion. He beat Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, and I don't like the way they treated him. The events basically gave him a squash to lose that title, but Kofi was champion, and Kofi Mania was a real thing, man, and I love Xavier Woods, but they have departed WWE, and I don't know what's next for them. MJF posted something saying it's definitely a new day or something like that. So I was like, oh, could they be AEW bound? That's usually the first thought we all go to. Or maybe Kofi's done. He's been in the game a long time. And they haven't, and this last New Day run with the heel stuff, which could have been something, they've done nothing with. But thank you, Kofi. Thank you, Xavier. And to the New Day. All right. Now, SmackDown, I give it a solid 2.5 out of 5. My match of the night, Charlotte versus JC. Moment of the night, Fatal Influence beating down the masses. Danhausen, Miz, and Kit, they're comedy gold. Cody and Ricky, so a lot of good stuff here, but it's 2 and then a lot of like not so great stuff. So, but 2.5 out of 5 for SmackDown, May 1st, 2026 at the Box Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tell me what you thought of the show. Drop those comments below. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, share it with your grandma, share with the bum down at Walmart. And remember that the New World Podcast is for life.
Here to make a statement. I came out here to change who the show is about. Fair, Ricky.